All right. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, the 22nd of May, 2024. In the last video, somebody asked me could I show how I made these little torsion springs, and what I got was, I think it was a number 6 piano wire or guitar string. I'm not really sure. I think I searched for piano wire, and this came up, and I measured the original, and it was about, I don't know, I'd say a 1/16 of an inch. This one here is almost, no, this one here is a 32nd of an inch, I think it is. So is that. So what I did was, I got me a 1/2 inch dowel, and I put marks on it to coincide with the bends. This right here gives you the distance between the hook that goes into the little eye, the little hole on the push button shaft up at the top, and to the first bend where that angle is, and then around the side here is where it becomes tangent and then starts to straighten out, and then there's a little hook on it, and that's about 3/4 of an inch or thereabouts. So what I do was, I stretch this around this thing until it gets to that point, and then I kind of mark it a little bit, and then do the little hook on the end where it grips the rod, the bar on the top, and that's what hooks it around that thing. So what I do is give it slight little bends. You don't want to put too much of a stress on it, because it will break. Okay, and we'll squeeze that down just a little bit to get that on there. Okay. So that's what we got so far. Now, we put a little kink in it right about there. And that gives us that little kink in it. And then we come over here to this. We put that kink right on that mark. Hook up at the other mark. And then what we do is we bend that on around there. We come up and we hook it right like that. And then what we do is put it on this thing, pull it up, snuggles like that, and from that point there, from about this point here, about 3/4 of an inch, we want it to bend 90 around 180 degrees like that one. So we grab it right about there, and start incrementally bending it. A little bit more maybe. That will do. And then we take our cutters, and I don't use my flush cuts for my other thing. This here is an old pair that lost its grips, so I keep it for the, there we go. Now they may not look quite the same thing. Excuse me. But when that thing goes clear around, she's going to tighten up. She's going to tighten up. Just like that one. Oop. If you could see it. Okay. Let me see if I can do this again. Get your hand in the way. Okay, there's that. See that? That will. Now you might play hell trying to get this thing back into the thing and get it on the. It's pretty easy to hook this end. Hook this end on to the shaft of the push thing, the push rod, and then you got to curl that thing around this large diameter chingus there, and get it on the smaller diameter back in there and get it hooked, and that will darn, what the heck, did I swallow a bug? So that's how I did that. So now I got a spare. Oh, more than a spare. This is an original one. One that I didn't break taking it off, and one that didn't break on me whenever I was looking at it. So I'll put this back in the bag with the rest of them, broken and all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got this off of eBay. I got this wire off of eBay. I think it's a number 6 piano wire. I think it was a 32nd of an inch. I believe that's what it was. And it's good and springy too. But that's all you can use it for. You can't use it for, you know, for stretching springs and compression springs and tight wound springs. You'll have to go to Ace for that. They got all kinds of springs there that you can use, but they don't have torsion springs, at least not that I know of, at least not like that. So anyway, that's what you do. So hope that helps somebody. All right, we managed to get all the looping tied in and locked in with some of that extreme glue. On each of those high points. We stripped the wires off of the lugs here because we're going to put some new wire on it with the old lugs. I don't have the kind of wire that I want to put on here, so I had to get it ordered. It'll be in probably about 3 or 4 days, so I'll have to use if I want to test the radio, well, if I want to burn in the new components, I'm going to have to use alligators on them, gator clips. But anyway, we got it reinforced in the center and painted up so it's all one color. Well, mostly all one color. So that's all right. Now, what we're doing out here on the bench is we've got this here cleaned up, and we've got it sprayed with some semi-gloss clear so that it doesn't get any more rusted than it is. We buffed it a little bit, clean it up. We managed to get the bars off the cabinet. Bars? And we got it sanded, rough sanded so far anyway. And we've just been touching up here and there with some spot putty on this. We had to glue some of this up because it was delaminating and some of the pieces were falling out of it. We got some heavy rubbing right there from somebody scratching it with their nails. That is the volume. So I know it's being touched a lot. This here, we got a little sliver that's missing there. I guess from sanding. We'll take care of that when we get the first coat of stain on it. So we're still going to have to hit this with some finer grit. We hit it with a 120 and a 100, I think, to strip it down pretty good. A lot of that we managed to do it with the scraper, and that thing there is quick, down and dirty. You got to take care that you don't gouge the wood, the veneer, but it strips it real quick. And this end, that looks like some burl trim there on the bottom, and over here on the bottom that looks like some burl trim. This here I think is just that may be veneer also, but the rest of it looks like just regular mahogany stuff. We're gonna get around to getting this inside scraped out, sanded a little bit, scuffed, and wiped down with some lacquer thinner. We went through and tightened up the screws wherever we could find them. These blocks of wood right here are going to get dressed out so they look squared off. I don't know why this is like that, but it ain't going to be like that for long. So we're going to go ahead and do that before we do anything on the finishes. But I mean, if it wasn't for this stuff, it'd be ready right now for finishing. The pads on the bottom, I took them off. They were delaminating and some pieces were missing, so I hit it with some Bondo, sanded it down and hit it with some Bondo. This one too. We're gonna sand some on that and square it off tomorrow and go a second coat if we need it, and that will take care of that. So now, other than that, the radio's ready. As with every radio that I do, the cabinet is the one that lags, and it just takes time to cure up this stuff and I put it out in the sun to kind of assist it a little bit and getting it hardened up and dried, and so I could start on it again. So we'll have plenty to do on this cabinet for another day, and then possibly Friday we can start hitting it with some pre-stain. So I think that's just about it for today. The radio is receiving shortwave really excellent. Of course, I have to assist it with my long wire. Oh, and somebody else asked me quite a few videos ago about what kind of long wire do I have. Well, now that I thought about that, and remembered that somebody asked me quite some time ago, hopefully they'll be watching this video, come out here and into my pasture. You see that wire right there? It comes out of that itty bitty hole up there, and it runs right along through there over to that post, and then it runs over to that post, and then it runs over here to my Casbah, where it comes up here and ties off and comes over here and dangles. That is one of my long wires. The other long wire, oh yeah, I have two long wires in different configurations, and all they are is just about 50 foot of regular, you know, all the old power cords that I strip out. I throw them in a big pile over there, and once in a while when I need a length of, I strip them down, split them apart, and solder them together. There's the other one. It comes out of the corner right here, goes up there to the corner of the Casbah, goes over to that corner of the Casbah, and it runs along here to this corner, and it goes over to there to that far corner, and then it runs up on the inside there along the shoelaces, and it comes over around this corner, comes over here to this corner, and then comes back up over here, and this is that one. I got it clipped up over there. I got a clip right here for that one that comes in here. The reason why I got it clipped at both ends, sometimes I will have a radio, sometimes I have a radio out here on the bench. Well, a couple of years ago I used to have radios out here on the bench, and I would use this end out here to tie to the radio external antenna lugs to bring in the shortwave. So that is all there is. That one out there that runs to posts and back over here is about, I don't know, 50-60 feet, and the other one's probably a little bit longer than that, because it goes around. This canopy is 10 by 10, or 10'3" by 10'3". So there's 40 feet right there, and it goes around 1.5 times, so there's 60 feet plus whatever's inside, another 10 foot, 70 feet. So that's all there is. I mean, there's no magic. I mean, you know, you can hypothesize yourself till you're blue in the face, figuring out half wave, full wave, all that other kind of wave, and do all the calculations like a lot of these hardliners like to do. But this is all I do. I mean, that is it, and it works beautifully. It helps to be in the middle of nowhere, though. Middle of Cottonwood. I mean, it just, the valley, I mean, the stuff comes in here and comes in the evening and leaves it in the morning. About like me. So, that's it. So, hope that helped somebody out. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money on highfalutin, rootin' tootin', fast shooting equipment. All I did was, matter of fact, I'll show you right now. You see all that conglomeration of crap right there? That's all old cords that came off radios. I split them apart and tie them together until I get as much as I feel that I need or want or can handle, and that's it. And I just string it up out there, about like I used to do with CB before I got myself a ground plane antenna or a beam antenna. I took some what was it? Solid copper wire, and go out the window and tie it up in a V shape underneath the eave of the house, and put a couple of isolators on it, bring it in on some coax, and use that copper wire for an antenna, and it worked just fine. I got a lot more distance out of it when I moved to the beam antenna and moved to the ground plane, or a whip, even a whip antenna. So anyway, enough gab. We're out of here. So hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.